Hi everybody, this is Miss Nicole with Bloomfield Public Library, and today in my easy treats for the 4th of July, I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple dessert and one that you can be super creative with. It's called a parfait, and it looks a little something like this. Now, parfait is a French word, and it actually means perfect, and this is sort of like the perfect mouthful of food for the summertime. And you might have heard of something called a trifle, which kind of looks similar. It's in a bigger bowl. That actually originated from England, and it's served in a big bowl. But parfaits are generally served in individual serving glasses. We're going to modify that a little because if I'm envisioning going to a picnic, I want to make sure everybody has sort of a single serving, easy to grab kind of thing that they can take with them. What I used for the cups for these are just some very simple plastic cups. You do want to make sure that they are clear so that you can see all the lovely layers in your parfait. That's the key to a parfait. Everybody wants to see all the layered goodness in their dessert. So now I'm going to show you probably one of the simplest ways to do it, and then I'll show you some examples of some variations that you might try. Again, because we're doing this with 4th of July in mind, we're thinking red, white, and blue, so that's sort of my main theme with my parfaits. Now with our parfait, the only thing you really need to prepare is the strawberries. All your berries should be washed and dried before you do this. But I'm going to use just a very simple knife here. And there's no fancy way to cut your strawberries. Whatever makes sense to you. I'm going to cut off the top. And then I just want to make sure that there are lots of little pieces because I want somebody to be able to scoop up all of the strawberries in their mouthful. So just like that. And I'll cut up this other half. And again, I'm not doing anything fancy with my cuts here. There are fancy ways to cut strawberries, and this is not it. I'm just turning and chopping. Watch your fingers. And for those of you out there who might be younger, you might want somebody to supervise this part if you wanted to cut up a strawberry. But basically, I'm going to put the strawberries down on the bottom of my cup, and you want to make sure you have a good layer there. We're going to put in all of our chopped strawberries. All right, see, we can't see the bottom. That's good. Now, this is one of the other secret ingredients. I'm going to use Cool Whip. You can use whipped cream. You can use pudding. You can use all sorts of things, but I happen to like Cool Whip. So I'm going to take a nice big dollop and put it inside my cup. And I'm going to actually just gently sort of spread it around. You want it to go to the edges of the cup, just like this. See how we've covered it and closed off that and created like a layer. And now we're going to add our blueberries. Remember, red, white, and blue. So we're just going to plunk our berries in there. Again, we're trying to make sure that we create an entire layer. Just like that. All right. Now we're going to add another layer of Cool Whip. Again, this might be a place where you want to add a little pudding in yours just to make it a little different. And again, we're going to spread it a little bit so it creates a layer. And now you might also want, just to have it, I happen to really like raspberries, and it kind of goes with our red, white, and blue theme. So I'm going to throw some raspberries here. Like so. Whoops, I had a spare blueberry there. And then one last dollop of my Cool Whip. And this one doesn't have to be as big because it's literally just going to be the kind of dollop you might put on a piece of pie at the end of a dessert, at the end of a meal. And now I'm going to be a little fancy with mine, and I have some mini chocolate chips. So I'm going to put just a little sprinkling of some mini chocolate, just for a little touch of chocolate. And that is my parfait. You can see all the layers, my red, white, and blue, and just a little extra something special there. That was super easy, right? Making a parfait could not be easier, but the beauty of this one is that you use these clear single-serving cups that you can find in the paper goods aisle of any supermarket because we want people to see the layers, and then you just build up the layers however you want. Now, sometimes people, as I mentioned, use puddings. They might use a layer of crushed up cookies. They might use Some watermelon would be another great red fruit. Anything you want to put in a parfait, you can put in a parfait. And I'll show you just a few examples in case you want to do some variations. I have a version that's just with Jell-O. So if I have some kids out there at home who are doing this and they're not supposed to be using knives and they're not supposed to cut up strawberries, they can do it. You can do it with Jell-O and a spoon. So I had some red Jell-O and some blue Jell-O, and I made a very simple parfait with my blue Jell-O and my red Jell-O and Cool Whip. I use Cool Whip for all of mine. Like I said, if you want to spray some whipped cream from the can, you can do that too. You can make your own frostings and things if you want. You can even use vanilla ice cream if you wanted to. Although if you're going to do that, be careful of when you serve it because of the temperature outside. This one too, you can see I also put some chocolate chips on top. You can also do, if you want to get a little fancier with the top, in this one I did blueberries, Cool Whip, I did some vanilla pudding, some raspberries, and then I topped it with a single strawberry slice so it would look a little fancy. And this one I actually topped it with, it was my blueberries and strawberries again, but I topped it with some sprinkles and a single blueberry. So there are a bunch of ways you can create these, and you can actually have a tray full of these single serving parfaits to hand out to people at a picnic, and it's super yummy and super special and different. People are used to seeing cookies and other things, but this is a really special, fun way to do it. You can use disposable plastic spoons. They have some biodegradable plastic spoons now if you're worried about recycling. So have fun with this one. It's super easy. And think about it first. Before you, as you're thinking about your parfait, think about the colors you want to do. Think about some of your favorite foods. Lay out all those things and figure out what you want to do in your layers. In a cup this size, you can probably do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, we have 4 good layers. In the one where I did pudding, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 4 layers plus a topping. So you can think in terms of what are the 4 different things I want to showcase in my parfait. And then you can be all fancy too, because parfait is a French word and people think you're being super fancy with your dessert. So there we have one of my super easy desserts you can make for the 4th of July or any time of the year, honestly. And until I see you next time, I hope you have fun with this one. Bye, everybody.